Welcome to the ultimate beginner's guide to get you started on Hit the Thrift. By watching this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know in order to be a pro. This guide will take you from absolute beginner with literally zero aura to the end game with hundreds of thousands to millions of aura. Starting off with the basics, the first thing you're going to want to do is talk to Craig. He's going to buy any of the clothing pieces that we find, and he also gives us specific requests that boost the pay for those items by 50%. Doing these quests helps a lot in the early game, and it also gives you kind of like a specific motivation when thrifting, so I would recommend doing as many of these as you can. Once you have your first quest, head inside this little thrift store and find those items. You always want to buy the most expensive items you can find without running out of money. Once you find the items that Craig is looking for, head next door to the laundromat and you can grab these free laundry detergent pods right at the desk that clean the clothes and also give them a 10% boost. You'll click these boxes in order to add the items into the washing machine, then you add the detergent on the right and click start. Now in the beginning, this is going to take 30 seconds, but as you get more money, you can purchase these upgrades, bringing the wash time all the way down below 10 seconds. Once the clothes are clean, grab them out of the machine and bring them to Craig, where he's going to purchase them and give you a brand new quest. He'll usually ask for specific colored clothing or different types of clothing, such as athletic wear, workwear, etc. To find out what clothing is considered workwear, just hover over the item and you're going to see a short description. Here you can see that this one says reliable for construction work, and then this pair of sweatpants says staple for early gym sesh, which would fall under the athletic category. There's one problem though, we're still naked with absolutely zero aura. In order to start aura farming, we'll need to purchase clothing items for ourselves to wear. You don't want to buy yourself clothes too early though. You need to make sure that you have enough money to always buy at least 4 pieces of clothing that are the most expensive on your level. So on floor 1 in the beginning area, the most expensive piece technically costs $800, but those are super rare. Most of the time it'll be these hoodies that cost $120 or these t-shirts that cost $60. So if you can keep at least $600 to $800 in your wallet, you'll always be able to make the most amount of money possible. This will help you grow your money faster, which is the most important part. The aura is gonna come easier down the road. In order to move around the map faster, this game has you double tap W to sprint, but keep in mind that you can only sprint outside, so don't be confused if it doesn't seem to be working inside a building. Now that you've got the overall gist of the game down, let's move on to some real tips that'll help you get to the top of the leaderboards. In the laundromat, you can speak with this employee who's gonna sell you higher quality detergents that offer a larger profit boost and also speed up the wash time slightly. However, you'll need to be smart when buying these, or you may actually end up losing money. In order for these detergents to be worth it, you'll need to be using them on clothing that costs a certain price. The magic number here is $170. If the clothing costs less than this, go with the free detergent. If the clothing costs at least $170 or more, purchasing either of the detergents will earn you more money, so buy the best one you can afford. The clothing doesn't need to cost $170 each, just the total of all 4 items you put in needs to cross that threshold, so don't put in 4 crappy $12 t-shirts or you're gonna lose money. As the clothing becomes more expensive, it becomes more important to use the premium detergent every single time. Eventually, that's the only thing you're gonna be using. If you are finding this guide useful so far, then subscribe to the channel to let us know, and maybe you're gonna be one of the first 10 subscribers to RGG. Now, on to the most important part of the game. How do you actually increase your aura? Well, you need to wear the most expensive clothes that you can buy, but once again, remember that you need to leave plenty of cash in your balance in order to buy more items, which is the most important part of progressing. You always want to be able to afford a full basket of the most expensive items in your zone so that when the opportunity presents itself, you can get all of them. In the beginning zone on the first floor, that might look like keeping $600 saved so that you can always afford 4 of the best hoodies. However, you're gonna need to keep larger reserves as you level up. You can also layer some of the tops together. For example, a t-shirt can be worn under a hoodie, or a t-shirt can be worn over a long sleeve. So make sure that you have 2 tops equipped if it's available in order to get that max aura. The best combination is going to be a t-shirt and a hoodie. Another useful tip, using different detergents doesn't affect the aura gain of the clothing item. As long as the clothing is clean, you're going to get the same amount of aura per second no matter which detergent is used to clean it. You can find your aura gain per second at the top of the screen in the middle, and as you switch items, you'll see it affected, so go ahead and use that as a basis. Also, don't forget about upgrades, and upgrades. The best ones to get are the money multiplier and the inventory space. This is going to make everything else come easier. The inventory space upgrades are really only worth it if you can get to 8 or 12, since those will allow you to do full loads of laundry. These upgrades work in increments of 2, so if it's possible, try and buy 2 at a time. Something that'll really help you out is learning to identify the high value items from afar without having to click on the rack and switch through each one. In the beginning zone on floor 1, this is going to be the very rare $800 jeans, the knit sweaters that cost $200, along with the spacey logo hoodies that cost $120. These hoodies are going to be your bread and butter moneymaker early on, so make sure you're always carrying enough money to pick up 4 of them. On the left side of the screen, you can click on this index in order to see every clothing item available, and it'll tell you ones that you've unlocked and whether you've found the best of the best yet. You'll also want to equip shoes and glasses, but don't worry about reselling these. Because you can't use detergent to boost these sale prices, I would just stick to doing full loads of laundry using that premium detergent. Once you get into the swing of things, you'll want to start watching this timer in the top right, because every 5 minutes the clothing is going to restock and you'll have a better chance at finding some rare items. So, in order to be a Hit the Thrift pro, you'll want to 1. Complete Craig's quest. 2. Use detergent to boost profits. 3. Remember that detergent doesn't boost the aura gain of each item. 4. Learn to identify high value pieces so that you can save time when looking through the racks. 5. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. Focus on the money multiplier and inventory space. 6. Layer clothing when possible. 7. Wear the most expensive clothing you can afford, but also 8. Remember to keep enough cash reserved to max out your inventory. 9. Be ready for the restock. Check out all the other Roblox game guides right here on screen. Just click that playlist button in the middle. However, this is our first video, so we might not have any more posted yet, but stay tuned and check back later if so. Keep aura farming and enjoy the rest of your day.